I'm just amused with myself because I know that the lens is over there, but for some reason I keep looking over here. Maybe it's because where the function buttons are, but I've hopped on again today. I've got to try and look over here, so I'm looking at you guys. I wanted to show you, I've got beside me here a big crate, and it's got some of my keeper pieces in it. Now these are pieces that I'm hoping to take with me when I move. They're all tablecloths or supper cloths. I mean, there's a hell of a lot more I want to take with me, but I thought you might like to see some of these because I don't think I've shared these before. I'm trying to lean back in my stool so I'm in the shot, but I look like I don't know what. Trying very hard to not be crude and sweary. You probably know I don't often show my face, and the reason is because I'm still having a lot of dental work done. I've got a lot of teeth missing, I've got a lot of bad teeth, I've got a lot of stuff going on, so I've been hiding that, but I've had quite a few people asking me why I don't show my face. So, showing my face again. Wanted to show you some of my collector pieces. I've got my phone, I've got a new phone. It's a new to me phone. It's not a new phone. I bought it secondhand. I'm still paying it off. It's so much better than what I've had. It actually works. But my stand is broken and you can see it's wobbling because I just let go of it. I've got it all held together with gaffer tape. It's too big to fit on my bench, this workbench here that I'm wanting to show you things on. If I put it on the bench, it takes up the whole surface, and then I've got nowhere to show you on the bench to show you what I've got. I was pricing yesterday. I haven't put all the descriptions on those yet though. Yesterday I tried to do a couple of lives. Well, tried to do one live while Willow and I went to the beach, and it kept dropping out. So there's a couple there, and there's one where we watched a coal loader be escorted into the harbour, which, I mean, as many times as I've seen that happen, it still completely fascinates me. So I recorded it as well for those of you who may not have actually seen one happen. But as a result of that, I noticed that my recording quality, especially when I'm out in the field, is really bad. So I've been doing some research, and I mean, yesterday it was windy. It often is windy up on the beach and up on the break wall. So I was trying to hold it against the wind at the same time. So I've been trying to, hello Jude, how are you? It's great to see you here. I didn't put up a notification because, I don't know why, I just didn't think anyone would be around. I don't know how long you've been on, Jude, but I hopped on today. I want to share some of my tablecloths that I'm hoping to take with me when I move. I don't think I've shared them before, so I thought I'd share some of the ones that I'm hoping to keep. I've just got all sorts of things going through my head about, you know, how many can I keep. It is beautiful here, Jude. It's warming up. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw the video, I had an appointment. It's a 2-hour drive away, so I make a day of it. I take Willow and we went up to the beach, and it was only 16 degrees. So it was cool yesterday. It did warm up. It got up to about 23 towards the end of the afternoon. It's warmer today. It's not supposed to be. I reckon it's probably at least 26, 27 today, maybe a bit more. There's a bit of a wind. It's a bit more than a breeze, but it's not a huge wind. I had another meeting this morning, a bit of a... I was asked to have the meeting on Tuesday. The person I was meeting with wasn't aware that I wanted to meet with them. Thank you, Jude. I was just explaining I don't normally show my face because I'm ashamed. I'm getting a lot of dental work done and I don't like to show that until it's done. It's been ongoing for 12 months. It's still ongoing. In fact, I had an appointment last week and they cancelled it that morning and they haven't been able to make another appointment because the books don't open until January. So I'm a bit upset about that. But anyway, the person that I needed to meet with this morning wasn't aware that I needed to meet with them. So it was a business meeting. And as you know, thank you. As you probably know, I don't have a working vehicle, so I normally have to borrow a car if I need to go anywhere. But this meeting was only about 1 kilometre or so away, so I decided to walk. I took Willow with me and we walked down, and it was quite a nice walk. I didn't get too hot. I wanted to meet with them about 10 o'clock this morning because I knew they'd be there at 10 o'clock. So we left, I don't know, it was only about 10 to 10 when I left, 9:45. It was a lovely walk down. Thankfully they were there and they were able to see us, so that was great. Not normally, when I've been down previously, they've been booked out with appointments and I haven't been able to meet with them. But they were able to make time to meet with me today. And Willow waited outside, so that was all good. And I'm quite happy that I have made inroads in the project that we're looking at working on. It's a bit hard for me to give too much information because it's not in concrete yet. So basically I was representing a voluntary organisation, a community organisation that I'm part of. And we were asking if another community organisation would like to partner with us to help some people in the community. So at the moment it's looking really good. It's very hopeful and positive. Unfortunately, we're not sure if we're able to team up this year at this late stage because we're going down to do our part on the 13th, the 12th. The Saturday in December anyway. They're going on the 9th. They wanted to go on the same day as us, I found out today, which would have been great, but they don't think they can get the volunteers to come out on the day, and we can't change our day because all of our volunteers have got full-time jobs. So it's looking very promising for us to work together next year on this project. So that's exciting. I'm excited about that. I've achieved something this morning. But while I was down there, they have a little community, what would you call it? Community supermarket, I suppose. And I didn't plan on buying anything. But it is my shopping day today and I didn't shop last fortnight. So it's been about a month since I've gotten any groceries. And they don't have everything. It's just bits and pieces. Stupidly, I decided to pick up a couple of things. I say stupidly because I was walking, I had Willow, and I ended up with two big, they weren't shopping bags, they were larger than shopping bags that I carried back home. So that was interesting. So I've had a bit of a rest after that. I wanted to show you some of my pieces that I'd like to take with me when I move. I may have to sell some of these later down the track. I've still got a lot of linen that I'm still sorting through. I've been at it for 12 months and I'm still going. I'm starting to think I may have to start mailing some of this down there because I'm not going to fit everything in that I need to take. I've also got a new collection of some, thank you, Jude, that would be lovely. Thank you. I've also got a small collection here of some vintage laces. Now, a lot of these I was gifted on the weekend. A friend of mine keeps lovely little treasures for me every now and then. And I saw her, so some of these are from her, and I've got some that I've had before. I've got a couple of more projects I'm working on, and I thought I'd pull out some of the kits that I've still got listed for sale that haven't sold yet. But I might show you the laces first. I've got a bit of the hiccups, sorry. I'm going to have a drink. I've just opened a cold drink. I'm quite thirsty. I've already had some water. I don't make a habit of having soft drink, but when I was at the doctor's yesterday, across the road they had these. I haven't seen these before. Pepsi Max soda shop. So they're sort of a raspberry flavour. They're not bad, and they were marked down. So I grabbed a couple of those, and I'm having one as a treat today. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to flip. Should I flip the screen around? It might be easier to show you this way. I haven't tried doing it like this before. The camera's not very far away from me because I don't have a lot of room here. But I'll see, maybe I can try it this way. So this is one thing I was gifted. It's just a short piece of, I don't have my glasses. Oh, okay. It's a bit of ribbon. I thought it's got, I thought that was one of my hairs, but it's actually tied into the back of that ribbon. So it's a bit of ribbon. I don't think it's overly old. And I thought, see those star flaky flowery bits? I thought they were embroidered, but they're actually sequins. So they're like metal sequins, and they're pressed, and then there's glass beads on them. So it's probably, I don't know, 40 centimetres there, and that was in the package that my friend gave me. There's also this bit. I've got a feeling this one might be a bit older. I don't know why I feel like that. It's not as synthetic, it's not as stiff, it's not as... Now it's a lovely, like a sage green. And it's got beads and sequins on it as well. It's machine embroidered. The detailing's machine embroidered, but I believe the beading's done by hand. So again, that's probably about 40 centimetres in that one. Now, I'll put those aside because they're bits I had before. But I want to show you some of these other pieces that she gave me. I'm going to go a bit backwards here. Okay. This is one. I don't know if this was a shelf trim, but it's absolutely stunning. It's a crocheted filet lace piece. That's how long it is. So again, it's probably about 50 centimetres. So there's 4 hearts across it. I thought that was stunning. This is a piece of crocheted. Look at this. I don't know if this is conducive to showing you doing it this way. So again, this is a filet lace. And you can tell it's quite fine, but when you see the thread, that would run through my sewing machine. So that's how fine this thread is that this person's done this with. And this is probably what, let's have a look. Maybe 110 centimeters in that. So I thought that would be fabulous to wrap around a needle book or something. Again, these pieces, a lot of these pieces I just hold on to until the right project comes along. And I never know until the time what that project may be. Okay, I also got this piece. This has tulips, another filet lace. This one goes around the corner though, so it's got, see, it's got this corner here. There's two corners, so that makes me think it's not for a tablecloth or a supper cloth, because it's got one whole edge, and then that edge is probably about 1 metre, the full edge, and then it turns a corner, and that's as far as it goes from each corner, maybe 10 inches, if that. So it sort of just goes like that shape, like an elongated U, I suppose. I did think that maybe it was made to wrap around a shelf, but if that's the case, it doesn't sit square if it's wrapped around a shelf. So I don't know what, maybe it's unfinished. It is ended off on both ends, but it's got these beautiful tulips. That's another piece I was gifted on the weekend. I'm just trying to fold it up so it stays nice and neat and clean while I continue speaking. If I just shove it away, it'll get screwed up. Okay, the next piece that I got from her, another filet lace, and it's a rose. And I've got 3 of those, so they're gorgeous. And every time I see things like this, I think, oh, that'd be great in a needle book. These needle books are going to be magical by the time I get around to them all. Sometimes I see things like this and I think, I'm going to copy that and make some more. And I get so far along and I think, I'm over that. Now, what else did she give me? This looks like a Swiss, is it a voile? Swiss voile. It's old, whatever it is. Isn't it stunning? There's not much of it. There's probably 12, 14 inches maybe. I don't know if it's French. I'm showing you the back of it by the looks. That's probably a bit better. But it's absolutely stunning. So these older pieces I'm hanging on to again for the perfect project, and I don't know what that is yet, but it's very fine. It feels like, I'm not sure if it's cotton or linen. It's definitely not synthetic, this one. Beautiful. But even this lace that's attached to the bottom here, it's like a torchon lace. You can see it's woven. It's not knotted, it's all woven. And it's very fine, and that feels like a cotton as well, or a linen. Normally when I've seen laces like this, they're synthetic. So yeah, okay. See, I've not, that I'm aware of, I've not come across any French textiles before, except for the little pieces I bought from Nairi recently, and they're mainly fabrics. I'd love to go over there and just to buy some. Okay, the next piece I got, and this is very fine and it's very delicate. There's some holes in it. I'm just trying to see which is the front. Another beautiful piece of lace. Again, this isn't very big. You can see they're covered in stains. I did give these all a gentle wash, and I thought most of the stains had come out, but they're reappearing. Now the interesting thing about this piece, and again I'd say, look, that's how wide it is, and again it's probably 14 inches. I'm talking in inches today because I can visualize 12 inches easily enough. So I'm just visualizing, going off what I visualize a 12-inch a foot. So this piece actually has a little press stud hanging off it, just barely hanging in there. I was thinking of something like that, Jude, actually. Have you seen the beautiful ones that Nairi has made? Nairi, I can't remember Nairi's surname. That's terrible. Nairi, she's got a Destash page called Nairi's Bits and Bobbins, and she's got another page that's Nairi, it might be just Nairi. But she's made some absolutely exquisite journals, textile journals. So I'm thinking of doing, one of the ones that she's done has the most amazing French laces and linens, and so I'm thinking of possibly something like that to pass down. My children don't really have anything that I've made. I did a crocheted shawl for Ashley before she left, before she moved away. And that's all she has. And I don't think my son has anything, because I've been doing this I've been working as an artist for years. So a lot of my work has been sold. So my kids don't really have anything. So this is another thing I was gifted by my friend. There's a pair of collars here. Holding that up, that looks like linen, but it does have some stabilizer ironed onto the back of that one, which is interesting because there's linen on that side and then raw stabilizer and nothing to cover the stabilizer. But it's got this beautiful, now to me that looks a lot like Battenberg, but it's not like any Battenberg I've seen before. It actually looks like it might be completely machine stitched, possibly. It's not tape. It's unusual. So I've got a pair of those. That was another thing that was gifted to me. I've had a bit of a frog in my throat this afternoon. Now this next piece, I got very emotional about. It's been happening a bit lately, the emotions. This is something that I've dreamt of getting my hands on, something like this for years. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's exquisite. And again, I've just noticed in the corner, there's a needle still in it, but whoever's done this has done a little overcast stitch in the corner. Now I believe this is quite old. This fabric I initially thought was feed sack. If it doesn't have the light behind it, it looks quite a bit like feed sack, but I'm not sure. But have a look at this. I don't think I can fit it all in. So it's interesting how cool it looks with the light behind it. So these fabrics are silks. Most of those are silks. Not all of them. There's a silk crepe in there. This pink one is a crepe. This floral is a silk, a really fine silk. The red is a silk. The blue isn't silk, it could be, it actually feels like feed sack, the blue. This feels like a feed sack. Do you think it's linen, do you? It looks a bit like, it actually looks a bit like Actually, I think you're right, you know. Now that I do look at it outside, the lighting in my house is crap, so it's hard to see. I think you're right, you know, Jude. It does look like... I thought it was a calico. But when you hold it up to the light, it does look like a linen, doesn't it? I think you might be right. It's whatever it is, whoever made this, they're beautiful quality fabrics for the age. I reckon they'd be at least 100 years old. It's not linen. It does look a lot like the old linen doilies that are like from the 20s or earlier. It does look a lot like that sort of fabric, but it also looks like a cotton. See, some of these older ones, especially the fine ones, I really struggled to work out the difference between the linens and the cottons sometimes. But some of these fabrics are just stunning. I don't know if you can see that one. It's not showing that pink. See that pink one with the stripe on it? And then that one there is quite textured. But then they've done this feather stitch all the way around. And then they've started to do... Now that feather stitch looks like a cotton, I think. But when I come into the centre here where there's a mauve down there, which looks a bit like a scroll stitch or an oyster stitch. It looks like a silk. See this cream looks like silk. These are silk. So anyway, it's absolutely stunning piece of vintage textile. So again, that's something that I'd like to use in, you know, maybe that one, Jude, with the vintage laces. So that's pretty special, that one. Then I've got... It's a beautiful treasure, isn't it, Jude? It's just... I'm just so... quite overwhelmed that I've been gifted these items, to be honest. And I'm thankful that my friend recognises how much I'll treasure them, because she actually has a shop and she could sell these things, but she chooses to gift them to me, which I think's amazing. So I'll go back. I've got a couple more crocheted pieces I'd like to show you. And again, a lot of these have been gifted to me as well, not all of them. This is just something someone's given me that they've recovered from a doily, so it's a bit old, but I still think it's a lovely treasure and it can be utilised. This is a lovely trim that someone's made. Now, this one confuses me a little bit because there's some parts that look like it's been recovered from something, maybe a tablecloth, but then some of the loops are completely intact. So I'm not sure if this has been reclaimed from something or not, but I've got this lovely piece of, another piece of lovely crochet there. There's well over 1 metre in that piece, maybe more. Then I've got this one's very fine. Another filet lace. And that's what? That's about 1.30 maybe a bit more. It fascinates. I can crochet. I struggle to. I'm not great at. I can read a pattern if I need to. I'm not great at it. I'm better. Sorry, I've just had a message in our group chat for work. I was talking to the secretary the other night. I couldn't remember the name of the company where my ex worked, and I used to go in there often. It drove me insane. he's telling me, I kept saying to him, I can't remember the name of it. They used to make grinding media out of big steel balls. It was really interesting. There was this massive big kiln and they'd heat the steel, and I found it fascinating because it was like, I kept thinking, imagine what I could do with one of those kilns with my glass and my jewellery art that I used to do. But anyway, couldn't remember the name of the company, and I messaged him yesterday and he's just responded and said, I knew you'd remember. He said, I remember the place now, but we couldn't remember it anyway. Another piece of crochet. I've got a few lengths of this one. These are a heavier cotton, and I don't think they're as old as some of the others. That's what I was saying. I can crochet. I seem to be more successful looking at a piece or an image to replicate it than I am reading patterns. I can read a pattern, but I find it a bit more challenging. This piece, I think I bought at an op shop maybe 12 months ago. It was a bit expensive, I thought, but it's a bit more glorious than I realised, because a lot of the places I go to, they're rolled up and a lot of them are tied up so you can't open them, or they're sealed in plastic and you can't open them. So when I got it home, like, is it really worth that much? Do I want to pay that much money? Can I really afford that much money? I think it was about $15. Now normally I don't go above $3 or $4 for a piece. And I'm quite happy with it when I got it home. And what I find interesting, I had never seen this until recently. That friend that saves the pieces for me, she gave me these little medallions maybe 12 months ago. And when I looked at them closely, they had this tape around the outside, and they'd been crocheted inside the tape and then around the outside of the tape. And I'd never seen the tape before. This has got the same tape. So this bit that runs down the center here, it's a tape if you haven't seen it before. And it is designed to use in crochet. So I don't know much about it. I haven't found any information about it. I'm assuming it's from many years ago, because I've never seen it before. I've never seen it pop up in haberdashery, in boxes, in sewing or anything, but that one with the tape. Now, this is another one. This is another piece that was gifted to me that I think is beautiful. It's sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It's a little woven tape. I've got a piece inside that's separate. It's only about that long. This piece is bigger than the one on the medallion. It's pretty much exactly the same, but shrunken down in size. So it's just this, I don't know how to explain it, this bit in the center here, this oval bit, and then it has these like woven bars that come out. I'm 99% sure they're made on a machine, but you can see where they've crocheted into those eyelets around the outside, and they've just worked off that tape. It's a cotton tape. The one I've got inside's an ecru colour. This one's more white. But it's just really interesting. I've never seen it before until I'd come across these pieces. Is there any more crochet pieces in there? No. Next I've got this. This is another piece that was gifted to me. It's another piece of filet lace that someone has made. By the looks of it, it was created to go onto a supper cloth. So I'm assuming it would have gone around a piece of white linen. But this is all I have. It's quite large. So this is the corners, and then this is the beautiful, oh well, it's just mainly just corners. See the corner inserts? Oh, okay, well that makes sense. So, and that's how long the piece is in between the corner. So you can see they've actually crocheted the border, and then these inserts, triangular inserts, have been placed in each corner, and then offset, like on point, would be the linen inside. But it has these beautiful lilies, like peace lilies. They're upside down in this image. Arum lilies, are they? No, it's a border for a supper cloth. So someone's crocheted this great big border, and I'm assuming they were just going to insert the linen, and that's as far as they've gotten. It probably would make a shawl. It's a triangle. It's a cube shape, like a triangle, a bloody square. It's a square shape. So they've done the square. It's all joined. It's all one piece, and then within the square, I haven't got anything square to hold up. So that's not really square either. So yeah. So it's crocheted in a square, and then within the corners they've crocheted an insert within the corners as well. And then there's another square inside that's sort of on point, which just needs a piece of linen set in it, really. But it's stunning. I guess in theory you could even, it's probably too big, you could make a great big top, couldn't you? Have it as the neck, shoulder. I can't, I've lost my words again. Right, another piece of lace. Now this isn't crochet, it's like a torchon lace. It's all woven, but it's been reclaimed. Again, this was gifted to me. It's got dye on it, it's got stains on it, but it's absolutely stunning. I'll show you a bit that doesn't have there's dye on it. Oops, that's the back of it, the front of it. And again, this is a square piece as well. So there's a corner. Another lovely cotton. Yeah, that's cotton, it's not linen, that one. I've got myself in a great big mess. Don't know what this, see that there? Looks like beetroot possibly, but blackberries or some sort of dye. So there's another piece from the collection. There's a couple of tears in this one. There's some tears there. I never know with these pieces with the tears, should I leave them as they are, or should I repair them? I don't mind doing a bit of a sympathetic repair if necessary, but then does that just ruin it? Usually, not always, usually if I repair things like that, I can match it fairly closely. And if I've got my glasses on, I've found, I did one recently. Oh, sorry, I've got a cramp in my toes. I'm leaning on my toes, I shouldn't be. I've got a cramp now. With the repairs that I do, they're nowhere near as good as they were when I was in my 20s, but if I use my glasses and take my time, I did one recently on a tablecloth. I can't find it now. It's blended in that well, I can't find it. I can't find the repair I've done. Okay, couple of more pieces of lace here that were gifted to me. This little, I think this is a child's because it's so small. This little collar. So it's got a peak that goes down at the back. Look at those beautiful needle woven, that spider's web, whatever it is, that's not a spider's web, similar to a spider's web done in there. It's very fine. Again, tiny little fine tape that's been used, and then the rest of it, all this infill and all these lacy bits are all done by needle and thread by hand. And then there's the front of the collar. So that's another one I've been gifted, and then I've got another one in here. I've got other collars, I don't know, they're all packed away some, not a lot of them, but this one is stunning. Another tape one with the needle weaving. This one needs a few repairs done. So this is the back of it. And then here's the bits that come. It's a bit hard to show you. So here's a bit that comes around to the front. So it'll do up. It smells a bit like onions, this one. It's been stored in a bag. Crikey, how can I hold it? So I don't know if you can see along this front opening, there's all this beautiful little fine needle lace, it's tucked under. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Someone has sat there with a needle and thread and done this amazingly fine work. But there are some tears in this one. A couple of the bars have broken away. And then, yeah, over on this side, we've got a couple of broken bars. And then this piece in here is pulled away, so I'm tempted to repair that. It's just, they're just too beautiful, I think, not to repair. I mean, there's beauty in the decay as well, you know. That's why I never know whether I should repair them or leave them. Okay, so that's it for my recently gifted treasures and a couple of other pieces that I've had there that sort of match in with them. I'm just moving those out of the way. Then I thought I would, oh look, there, see there's some more crocheted bits that I've got stored. I've got bits and pieces here and there. All sorts of things in that little basket. So, in front of me I've got more needle books I'm working on, but I thought I'd start showing you these tablecloths in my keeper collection that I'm hoping to take with me when I go. This is the first one. This is a beautiful mid-century. This one's cotton. I'm trying to find a corner. It's often a bit easier to get an idea of the pattern from the corner. That looks like there's a little bit of fluff on it. Might be cat hair actually. I don't have a cat, but it reminds me a bit of cat hair fluff. And at first it looked like a tomato seed stuck on it, a dried up tomato seed. Okay. Isn't it beautiful? I originally started collecting these to use in for thread painting and making bags and things out of, and clothing. I actually started years ago, started buying a lot of the crocheted ones and some of these bigger pieces to make myself some clothing out of, but I just can't come at cutting these ones because they're just so beautiful. So I love this aqua colour, that's one of my favourite colours. So this is quite a large one. This is not a supper cloth. It's probably about 1.5 meters, 1.40 meters, 1.5 meters. Look, there's more of that. I don't own a cat, so I don't know where that's come from. Maybe it came from the person who owned it previously. Right, so that's the first one. It's hard to give you a good... I know, some have I in the past, Jude. I've turned away a heap because I never used to like them. Isn't it funny how our tastes change? I see them now and I think, oh my gosh, isn't that stunning? There's my cousin's shop. She has a shop, I was going to say up the road. It's probably only about 7 minutes drive away if I go over the weir. When I was visiting her recently, she's got a whole heap of these in. Only recently, she bought an estate recently, and the only reason I haven't brought them home is because they're $45 and upwards a tablecloth or a supper cloth, and that's just not in my budget. So I want to go and see her again though, because she's got some really nice, I need more little embroidered doilies. Okay, here's another one. This one's got some holes in it, only little holes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, Kel sells hers. I noted, and mind you, the ones Kel has, that my cousin has, they look immaculate. They look like they've never been used. And of course, if they have been used, they're not that expensive. But yeah, the ones I picked out, the really pretty ones at Kel's were, I think the cheapest one I saw was about $45. I'm sure they're worth it. I mean, I usually flip them for that sort of price anyway, if I've got ones to flip. Now this one, I love this colour of this one. Isn't that gorgeous? I remember when I used to stay at my great uncle's, he used to babysit us. He used to stay there a lot after school. He had a lot of linen like this. I thought it was horrendous. And bark cloth. He had bark cloth galore. And I hated it. And now I only said to my mum the other day, I can't believe I didn't hang on to some of that stuff from Uncle's. Kicking myself. Here's another one. This one's got a lovely... the last one, Jude, with the sort of lacy edge printed on it, that was pretty, wasn't it? There's some of them are beautiful that I've ended up with. I like how this one's got the centerpiece in the middle. They don't often have that. So even this one, I would have looked at that years ago and thought, oh yuck, browns and oranges and greens, I hate those colours, but it's a beautiful piece. So if someone wants to gift them to me now, or if I see them at the op shop, I pick them up. I'm getting thirstier. I think this one is a rayon blend. It's quite heavy. It's got a lovely drape. And this one is one I've had for years. I've had this one since I was a teenager, I think. It's quite a large one. Probably from the 70s by the look of it. It's got some stains on it. It's not one that Mum had though. I don't remember it being at home. I can't remember where I got it from, but I've had it for years, this one. It's cool to the touch, so that makes me think it might be rayon. It does have some holes in it, but I quite like that one too. Purple and aqua are my two favourite colours ever, and they're both in this. It is very retro, isn't it? That's what I'm thinking. I reckon it's probably this from the 70s, that one. Okay, this one's got holes. A lot of them have got holes in them, or stains, or... A couple of these I bought in the last 12 months from a lady online. I'm trying to remember her name. This is sad, this piece. It's got a big, looks like mould. I have cleaned it. I think I might need to clean it again. So I'm not sure, that may have to be salvaged for something else, because that, I didn't realise how bad that was until I've brought it out here. It didn't look that bad inside. Need to treat it with something to reverse it. Vinegar maybe. This is another one I reckon could be from the 70s. Pink and red. It's quite a large one too. Trying to see. So that one's probably about 1.6, that one, square. This is a pretty one. I think this is one I bought off the lady on Instagram. I don't remember her name, but it's beautiful. When it arrived, I thought, oh, I can't cut that up. It's very 50s, isn't it? Vinegar or baking soda and vinegar mix. Oh, okay, thanks, Jude. I've only soaked them in, like, the nappy soaker stuff, in a sanitizer. So I'll need to give, yeah, I didn't realise how much that mould was still there. See, this one has stains as well, but it's just so pretty. See, these ones with all the holes and the damage, they'll most likely be used to create things with. But the ones that are in good condition, this one I got the other day at the op shop. And I bought this to line a bag I'm making, but it's in fairly good nick, so I don't want to cut it up. I think this is another rayon blend. It's cold to the touch and it has that lovely drape. Look at that. It's another beautiful one. That's very mid-century again. And then I've got another one I've had for a while that's very similar. Instead of the carnations though, it has roses. The colours are just divine, aren't they? That one's in really good nick. I don't think there's any stains or damage on that one. This one is one of those ones that I cried when I found it. I thought it was a tea towel. I picked it up in the shop thinking it was a tea towel, threw it in the basket, paid for it. It wasn't until days later when my son came and I went to show him the tea towels, because I've been collecting linen tea towels for him, and he's framed them and lined his workshop with them. They look amazing. I'll have to get some photos to show you guys. But this one is immaculate. I don't think it's ever been used. It's that beautiful aqua colour. We've got koalas. There's native flowers. There's kangaroos. And there's kookaburras on this side. I can't see kookaburras. We've got they're all different. I'm just noticing the sprays of flowers in between are all different. So that one's got waratahs and Christmas bells. That one's got flannel flowers and Sturt's desert pea, kangaroo paw. And then in the centre, is a pair of, I don't know what these are. I think they're a parrot, and they've got a red tail, so it made me think that they might have been a red-tailed black cockatoo, but they've got green wings, so are they a king parrot? I don't know. But that supper cloth is immaculate. I don't think it's ever been used. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful colours. So that's one that I thought I was buying a tea towel. That's Willow's friend is walking. That was your friend, wasn't it? I don't go crooked if it's that young girl that lives down the road. She always calls out and says hello on her way home from school every day. Okay, another supper cloth. Look at this one. I've got some embroidered ones coming up, guys, so hang in there. That one's in immaculate condition as well, the one I just showed you. It must be getting warmer because I'm getting very thirsty. I got this one at an op shop about 18 months ago. I didn't open it. It was in like a Ziploc bag, and I tried to flip it straight away, and it didn't sell. I'm so thankful that it didn't, because now that I've opened it up, I've fallen in love with it. This is a big rectangular one. Another one from the 50s. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's never been used. Immaculate condition. Beautiful piece. I'm going to have a tower here soon. This is one I've had for years. This is one of my early pieces, and again, outside here I can see, looks like there's a bit of mould on it as well. Another little mid-century supper cloth, and I nearly cut this one up recently, but I'll give it the old vinegar and baking soda treatment and see if we can get rid of those spores, make sure they're well and truly gone, and see what we can do with that one. Now this is another one that I thought, this one, I bought this recently from the op shop, and it was rolled up. I'll see if I can show you what I could see. So it was rolled up, and this particular shop, they seal them so you can't open them up. And they're quite inexpensive, so, you know, if you get it home and it's not what you want, you've only usually lost a few dollars, a couple of dollars. So all I could see on this one was that. And I thought, oh yeah, that doesn't look too bad. If worst comes to worst, I can use it for thread painting or something. But when I opened it, oh my gosh. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, it's never been used. It's immaculate. And it's a rectangle. It's quite a large one. The only thing with this place, they use those punch ticket things, and they punch straight through the fabric. So some of the finer linens, it tears it, and that's quite devastating sometimes. And I have asked them repeatedly to try not to do that. This is another one I got on the same day, and again, it was rolled up and complete, like all you could see was this. When I've got it home and opened it up, it's a large rectangular tablecloth, and it has 2, 3, 6 matching. It said they're placemats, but I'm pretty sure they're napkins. So that one, that was another, like, I was like, oh, I don't know, I can't explain how emotional I've been getting over some of these pieces. That's, oh, those bloody plastic punch tin clip things. I don't know how to get through to them that how much it damages the textiles. I don't know if they don't care or if they, I mean, they put, most of the things are in plastic, in Ziploc bags anyway, so they're already spending money on the Ziploc bags. This is what I don't understand. Yeah, does my head in. I've had a couple of beautiful, really fine, like voiles and really, really fine linens, and they've just torn through them. They would have been immaculate apart from that. This is one I bought from the lady on Instagram that I've got a feeling her name might be Jude too, actually. It's got a couple of holes in it, but look at that. How 50s is that? That's more of a, it's not cotton, it's more of a rayon. And again, I originally bought this to cut it up, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The pieces I've bought from her, when they've arrived, they look so much better than the photographs. Another one, this is again, I've been really emotional about these. This was another one I thought was just a little, either a tea towel or a supper cloth. Obviously there's a little bit more heft to it, but I did think it was just a tea towel, but it's never been used. It's immaculate. And it's birds and flowers of Australia. It's absolutely stunning. Look at the kookaburra, the lyrebird. It is absolutely exquisite. It's one of the prettiest pieces. Sorry, I'm spitting. That's another reason I don't like being on camera, because I've got so many teeth missing. I tend to spit when I speak, and I slur a bit too because it's hard to enunciate with so many teeth missing. That's still got one of those bloody plastic things in it. Yeah, they'd still be better though. The safety pins would still be a little bit better. I mean, if they're putting them in big Ziploc bags or clear plastic bags, I don't know why they have to have the pins through them. And when they put them in the bags, they heat seal them as well, so you can't open them. So it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, this is a piece I've had for quite a while. I haven't pressed it. Don't know why I haven't pressed it, but it's a linen. Just trying to see where the front of it is. And it's, hello. It's this beautiful embroidered and drawn thread work. Look at the urns. Absolutely stunning, this one. So that's another piece, that's a linen one. I'm moving into the linen pieces now, the embroidered linens or the laces. We've moved away from the mid-century retro. So this one is about probably 1.2, 1.25 square, that one. Beautiful piece, that one. It must have only recently washed it. It smells really good. This is a recent acquisition, this one. Now, this sort of thing I don't normally pick up because I didn't like it and I thought they were cheap and nasty, but this one is exquisite and I don't think it's cheap and nasty. I've not seen one quite like this before. Oh, is it in reverse, Ash? Well, I had actually covered that earlier, so all you could see was the hedge, but I must have moved so you can see the house now. But yeah, this one, I've actually got two of these, but the second one's larger and it's oval. This one's rectangular. The oval one had a couple of holes in it and I have started to repair it, and that's one I was talking about, that I can't find the repair now that I've done on it. But this is, I don't know what you'd call this. It's not like, The ones that were similar to this that were big in the 70s, it's quite different to that. So it's sort of stretchy. It's hard to explain. Like I said, I've never seen anything like it. And I thought with this one, worst case scenario, I could make myself a top with it because it's just beautiful. But that's gone in the keeper box. I was just saying, Ashley, I'm starting to think, I went through my box again last night, and I'm starting to think, Ash, I might need to start posting some of these things down to you to hang on for me, because I'm not going to be able to pack them all, but I don't want to let go of them all. Okay, this piece I've had for years. This is one I've had for years and years. It's got some stains. It needs a bit of loving, but it is exquisite. Look at the fine. It's a Madeira. I think it's a Madeira, traditional Madeira. And it's all done by hand. All these fine, it's just, this piece is just one of the most exquisite I've ever seen. So I'm thinking from my research, this is a traditional, you know, vintage Madeira. Well, yeah, I think Liam will be okay, to be honest. Although he might just say all I'm allowed to bring is my crate and that's it. Okay, next one. This one, when I found this one about 18 months ago. I even remember the shop I found this one, and that's because it's still got a tag on it. That helps me remember. When I found this one, it looked like it had been washed in the washing machine and not hung out, and it was all scrunched up, and it was very I wasn't sure if it was anything of any significance. It was quite cheap and it looks like it wasn't in great nick. Brought it home, washed it, pressed it, and it's immaculate. It's this beautiful fine linen. It's all done, that embroidery's all done by hand. There's a couple of little stains on it by the looks, but it is absolutely exquisite. So that was worth the couple of dollars to bring it home and press it. Okay, I've got another Madeira here, different colour. This one's, oh, it might be linen. Yeah, this is linen too. I thought it was cotton. But look at the needle weaving in this one. Absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, some of these are, and the amount of times I get these out and think I'm going to have to move them on, I just can't let go of some of them yet anyway. They're beautiful. Another Madeira. These three Madeiras I've just shown you, they're all completely different colours. So the first one is a real ecru. How did anyone do that? Do what? Oh, screw it up and not press it. You should have seen it, Ash. I don't think I showed you. It was just all screwed up like a tube, like a, yeah, and it was in a basket up the back. I think they ended up giving it to me actually because it was so screwed up. So the first Madeira I've shown you is an ecru, the needle thing. I've lost track of what we were talking about. Oh, the needle weaving. Yes, it's amazing. This is why I can't let go of some of these pieces. The first one is a traditional ecru linen, ecru cotton. The next one is more of a greyish ecru. I don't know what its correct name is compared to the traditional. And then this one is slightly pink tinted. This one's cotton. It's got the needle weaving in it again. All done by hand. Absolutely stunning. This one I reckon's probably from the 70s, 60s or 70s. It's not as old, it's more modern. But regardless, it's still a beautiful piece of linen. It's a really soft pink, that one. Okay, this next piece. This is linen. The border, I believe, is cotton. It's just a little supper cloth, and we've got the pulled thread work here with some needle weaving. And then it's got this amazing torchon lace edge. So it's just a little supper cloth, that one, a cute little, it's probably lucky to be 90 by 90. Oh, it is warming up here. Must be getting late in the afternoon. 20 to 4, it's getting warmer. Okay, next one. Now this was one that came in a bag of stuff recently. Thank you, Jude. Oh, well that's a bugger ash. This was in a bag of stuff I bought recently, and I can see outside here, even though I've washed it, I'm not sure if it's got stains or if it's been scorched because it's all over, but it's linen. And it's an odd shape, so it's probably about, that's how wide it is. So maybe 50 centimetres. And then it's probably twice as long, so probably about 1 metre long. But then along one edge is this amazing torchon lace edge. That's all woven, needle woven. Beautiful. And it's funny because it just runs along the long edge. So I don't know if that's something that may have come out of a religious institution. I've got a couple of pieces that I wonder that, just because of the shape or the design on them. Don't know. Okay, next piece. This piece I nearly didn't keep until I realised what it was. I think I paid about 50 cents for this. I got this probably 12 months ago from, there's a market that Beck goes to. I've run into a couple of times in town. I haven't been there that often because it's hard for me to get to, and Willow gets a bit overexcited, but I found this piece there, and again it's just a little linen supper cloth, but the crochet lace is amazing. It's spider's webs. I've never seen anything quite like this. It's old. It's got those pretty flowers, and then it's got these incredible crocheted spider's webs, and you can see compared to my fingers how fine they are, but each of those spider's webs is actually crocheted. It's incredible, amazing little supper cloth, that one. So now when I go out looking at linens, I look for pieces with spider's webs, and I've got another little piece inside. It's like a little, maybe a little, let's see, that's got a watermark on it. What am I thinking? Little coaster, little doily with a, it's not hand done though. Okay, next one is this Tuscan lace. Now this is all needle woven by hand, and it's just a little supper cloth. I've got larger pieces of this. I've got some listed at the moment actually, but I kept this tiny little one because it's just so pretty. Just a little Tuscan lace. It's not even a supper cloth, it's only, that's how big it is. It's probably 60 centimetres maybe. Maybe a table centerpiece. Okay, the next piece is this linen, and it's all pulled and withdrawn thread work. It's almost like hardanger. It's all linen, and it's like a little runner, that one, like a table runner. Very pretty little linen piece. Oops, it's a bit folded over there. Okay. I've got another little, this is a slightly larger Tuscan lace. Pretty hand woven. That's a larger one. That's probably a bit more traditional suppercloth size. Now this is another one that I got maybe 12 months or so ago. I think I might have got this at that same market in town. I'm not sure if it's cotton because it's incredibly fine. It's not a voile. Part of me wants to say it's linen, but I'm not convinced. It's a bit cool to be linen. It's got these, what are they called? I've been doing some, I should know what it's called. It's a needle woven lace in little medallions that you do. So it's got some of those as inserts, but then it's got this amazing cut work, and then it's got a torchon lace border, but this is incredible, this piece. It's incredibly fine and delicate. I don't know how else to explain it. These beautiful, it's all done by hand, this beautiful cut work, and then it's got these needle woven lace inserts, and then the torchon lace border. Incredibly fine. I don't even know how to explain how light it is. It's like, it's gossamer, is that the right word? It's just, it's got some stains on it, and a couple of the bars are broken where the cut work's done, but I think that could be repaired. All in all, it's in great condition, and I think I paid 50 cents for that piece. Now, moving on to our mid-century linens, embroidered. This is the, or is it? I thought it was the Willow Story, but it's not. It's a bit different, but Chinese one. Now, I do collect a lot of Chinese linens because my mother's family's Chinese. And usually I see things like that and they're just beautiful and I have to have them. With that said, here's another piece. Linen. These would be 50s. My uncle may have even bought some of these back. He used to travel to Hong Kong every year and bring these back in the 50s and 60s. This one's got lanterns on it. Beautiful vintage cross stitch on linen. What's that one say? Can I read it? Probably not. No. So they're exquisite. That's a beautiful piece, that one. Some of these are large rectangular tablecloths. Okay, the next one I've got is, I love this. This is beautiful. I've only ever seen one of these before. It's got this incredibly fine linen, the yellow, and then this, and I think that's linen too, that voile. Is that what you'd call it, a voile? And that's what the cross stitch is done on it. It blows my mind. Look at that. It's absolutely exquisite. Actually, I haven't seen another one of these before. The next one is the one I've seen before somewhere else, and it had been cut up. So that's another beaut. This does have a couple of little holes in it, I just noticed, and I bet it's where that bloody punch ticket thing was. Okay, the next one, this is the one I've seen another one very similar to this, and it had been cut up. It's got these beautiful embroidered panels. Now, that embroidery is all done by hand. You can see, can you see the crisscrossy in the shadow work? It's actually traditional shadow work embroidery. And yeah, it's blows my mind. Oh, I see what that is. The little pulled thread work, all done by hand. It's incredible. All this needle weaving on this border is all done by hand. Absolutely stunning, that piece. They all are. All these pieces have got their own beautiful little... Whoops, sorry guys, I've just knocked you over. Okay, another linen. This is a beautiful rectangular linen cross stitch. Absolutely stunning piece again. Beautiful. I'm running out of space to put these. Now this one is a combination of cross stitch, crochet inserts and applique. It's a bit hard to show you. And embroidery. They're beautiful. Look at the crochet inserts. We've got cross stitch, we've got embroidery, and we've got some applique. That's a beautiful one, that one. This one's got a mark on it. These are all stored away in a box in a crate, right? But I've just noticed there's a bit of Angelina fibre that was on it. But see this mark here? That to me looks like a dog slobber from Her Highness. So how that's got on there, I don't know. Although it doesn't take much. If I've got the lid off for a couple of seconds, all she's got to do is flick ahead and it goes. I'm so thirsty, guys. Okay, another little, this is cotton, another little supper cloth cross stitch. These are always beautiful, aren't they? Then I've got, I hung on to this one because it was so pretty. One of those little mid-century supper cloths. They're machine embroidered, and I've got matching napkins for this one. Another one of the, this is smaller than the other one I showed you. Crochet insert and cross stitch. Look at this one. Look at the work on them. This is interesting, the grey and pink. Isn't that pretty? These are just beautiful. It's got the pretty little crocheted corner in there as well. This pink one. Isn't that gorgeous? Then I've got this damask that I've hung on to because I saw, and forgive me, I don't know her name, but the lady that owns the Little Red Hoop. I want to do one of those volume 8, the Roxy stitches with all the bits. And I saw that the Little Red Hoop had used this beautiful damask with the red. And I came across this. It doesn't have the roses on it like she has, but it's got, what are they called? Cyclamens, is it? So I've got that beautiful damask. That's a linen damask, that one. Whoops, I've flicked you around, sorry. There's quite a bit of stains on that piece. And this is another damask I've been hanging on to that I wanted to use to make something. And this was going to be a bedspread, I think. It's all blanket stitched by hand all the way around. This is a huge piece. This is a couple of meters long. But it's got the most beautiful, don't know if it's picking it up. The flowers, and there's these beautiful urns with flowers spilling out of them. It's absolutely stunning, that one. It's heavy, that piece. Then I've got this, you know, the painted damask, the Irish hand painted ones. I've got a couple, I've got one listed actually, but these are two separate ones. First I've got this one, the hand painted damask, and look at these, look at the scallops, it's beautiful. So I've got that one. I'm trying not to catch my fingernails on it because of course I've split them because I'm so bloody rough with my hands. And then I've got this one. This is more of a rayon. It's a vintage damask, and it's got the pretty flowers, all hand painted. But then if I open it up, this was a surprise. I didn't discover this until months after I'd purchased it. Look at that. So the other side's the same. We've got the apricot dress with the purple man and the yellow dress with the apricot man. And then more beautiful. Now this one, I don't think this one's ever been used because it doesn't have a mark on it. It's immaculate. Oh, the wind's picking up, of course. That's a square one, that one. I think it's a rayon or a rayon blend because it's cool to the touch and it's a bit shiny. So that one's beautiful. Then I've got some more of these linen. This one I've had for a while. It's a bit worn out. The Australiana ones with the flowers and the map and the animals down in the corner. Probably noticed that one's a bit, it's seen better days, that one. She's been well loved. And I've got, this is a beautiful linen, this one. This one's a big heavy one. Another linen with flowers. This one's got native flowers all over it. It's very heavy. Look at this, Ash, I've just noticed. Look what flowers down here. I assume you're still there. I don't know, maybe you've had to go. Next one, this one is, I think it's a Western Australia one. It's got beautiful flowers, the black swan, and then it's got these, it's got Kalgoorlie, like photos of this around it, and it's beautiful. Another beautiful linen one. Oh, just dropped my tape measure. Oh, that time I've been guessing the measurements and I've had a bloody tape measure draped over my neck the whole time. What a silly goose. Okay, I think this is the last time I printed. This one I don't think is even linen, it might be cotton. Oh, is it? Is there a tag? I think this one's cotton. It's quite chunky, this one, the weave. But this one, another one I got a bit emotional about, kangaroos. It's got kangaroos all the way around it. Got grey kangaroos, red kangaroos. In the centre we've got some red kangaroos. It looks like it's just grey kangaroos and red kangaroos actually. And there's gum blossoms in between them. So that's a cute little supper cloth. I also started collecting these years ago to use in our camper van when we went camping. Okay, this is one of my favourite pieces. It's a beautiful green linen and it needs a good press. This is, someone was asking me what horses I have, and I think I've only got this piece, a horseshoe, and I got another horse the other day. I think they're the only, I've been trying to collect horses for years. This hunting, there's a fold there, but there's a dog in there. Beautiful crocheted edge on this one. The opposite corner, or the corner next to it, has the dogs, and then I think the opposite, diagonally opposite corners are the same. So there's that one. That's a pretty one. I've had it for years. Next one. This one wasn't very expensive. I bought it about 18 months ago, and it was sort of just hanging like that. And then I noticed this little flower. It's all hand embroidered, and I thought that looks like a native Christmas bush. And if you haven't worked out by now, I also collect native linens, Australian native linens. So when I got it home, I wasn't going to keep this one. It was going to be flipped, but it's got the native, I can't remember what they're called. They're red, they're not pardalotes, they're a little native birds with the native Christmas bush. So that's just in one corner, and then there's the Christmas, little sprigs of Christmas bush. That's the diagonally opposite corner, and then the other two little corners have just got the little, so that's had to remain in my keeper collection. And then I've had this one for years. This was one of my first pieces. Just a little supper cloth. Cornucopia. Isn't that pretty? Lovely crocheted edge on it. That's linen, that one. Very fine linen. And then this one I've only had for about 12 months, maybe not even that. Didn't realise what was on this until I got it home. But look at this. These birds go all the way around it, and they're holding that garland of flowers, and then there's a beautiful filet lace edge all the way around. So that one had to stay. I'm dreadful. This is one I got from my cousin. This is not my cousin that owns the shop. This is another cousin who manages a shop in a different location. But I walked into her shop one day and this was hanging, and I just bought it. I didn't even look at what was on it. It's heavy, it's very heavy. Isn't it gorgeous? So those little Scotty dogs with those, I assume, hollyhocks. Look, he's wearing a tartan scarf. So that's in every corner. And then there's also flowers embroidered on the spaces between the corners. So that's immaculate, that one. A linen or linen rayon blend, that one, because it's a bit cool. But it looks like linen. That one's in immaculate condition. It's very heavy, that one. Then I've got this one again. I've had this one for years and years. It's got some stains on it. Little supper cloth. Pretty little crocheted edge on that one. So I often look at these and I think about the person who would have stitched them. Another little supper cloth, little linen one. It's just got the prettiest little sprays of, don't know if they're rose. It's very pretty, that one. Not very big, little supper cloth. Next one, this is another one that I didn't realise what it was until I got it home, and it's got some stains on it, this one. It's hand embroidered. Actually, it is. It does say, it's got a tag on it. So I was going to say it's not hand embroidered, but it does say on the tag, hand embroidered. So it's got native flowers again. So we've got the gum blossoms, the gum nuts, and the Hardenbergia. And then it's got this beautiful big wreath in the centre. So that one's remained in my keeper collection. I need to do more work to try and lift these stains out though. Then this one, I've tried to sell this one and there's been no interest in it, like a few of the others. It's got these beautiful tiger lilies. This one's a tablecloth and it's about, it's a cotton, this one. It's not that I don't want it, I just need to downsize more than anything. So this one is about 1.2 squared, that one. It's very pretty colours. It's a beautiful green in that one. So that's one that I'd be prepared to move on. There hasn't been many of them, has there? My arm was sore. I've just realised I've burnt it again. I don't know how we're going to go with that machinery going. Next, another linen one, and we've got the willow pattern. And just the birds are a bit, they're funny little birds in this one. So that's a keeper, that one. Then I've got this sweet little, now these applique ones I've been trying to get hold of for years, so I am coveting these as well. It's just a little supper cloth. It's only very small, that one. It's only about, that's going to drive me insane. It's only about 80 centimetres square, that one, but it does have, there's only three matching napkins. I don't know where the fourth one went, but there's only 3 of those. Maybe that's all I got. I don't remember. Then I've got one in blue. Again, it's got some stains. It's just a little supper cloth. It's very pretty, that one. I say that about all of them, don't I? Now, sometimes I can never get them to fold back how they were. There we go. This is the last one, would you believe? But it's got some dust on the bottom. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Now this is a big rectangular one. So yeah, I've been hunting for these applique ones for years. So that's it. That's it for my keeper collection tablecloths at the moment. I do have a few other things here I was hoping to show you. We've been going for quite a while though, haven't we? If you're happy to hang out a bit longer, I'm just going to show you, it's nothing over exciting that I've got left, it's just some of the kits I've got listed at the moment. And even though I need to sell them to pay for Willow to go back to the vet, I'm sort of also not stressing too much because I've got to have some to take to the market I'm going to. I don't know if that's next door or further down. Next door doesn't normally make that much noise. Okay, bear with me while I put these back in the crate. That's gonna bug the crap out of me. I think it's the next place down. They were working on a car. The guy across the road was working on a caravan. The guy next door's been doing his kitchen. But that sounds like a grinder maybe. Might be next door. They've actually been working in the garden next door. So, I'm getting there, guys. It's taken a while, isn't it? I apologise. If I'm not careful, I can't sort of just whack them all in or they don't fit. I've got to sort of spiral them around the crate. It's getting filled up already. This poor crate, I lifted it up yesterday to go through it again and it cracked, the whole crate cracked open. So I've got it held together at the moment with gaffer tape. Geez, I'm a goose. I was going to photograph some of those to put on my Instagram to show as well. They've all gone away now. I've had so many people asking me to see them. And I do these videos and then I forget to photograph them because not everyone can see the videos. I was very lucky years ago. I used to do fundraising for a charitable organisation, and to do the fundraising I used to host high tea events, and I had a friend who used to manage the local Salvation Army shop. Now back then it wasn't a family store like they are now, it was just the Salvation Army shop. So it was nowhere near as expensive as they are now. But she used to save the linens for me. And I don't have many of those linens left. I've ended up passing them on years ago when I stopped. I became too unwell to keep hosting the high tea events. So a lot of those linens were moved on. I still do have a lot of the teacup sets though. And they won't all be able to travel with me, unfortunately, because I do have a lot of them. Whoops, I'm going to knock you over again. I don't know how you guys tolerate me knocking the camera around as much as I do. Obviously I don't mean to, but I can be very clumsy. I do apologise. Okay. They're packed away. Now, what I wanted to show you now was just a few of the things I've got listed on my Destash page still. Now these things I've got listed, they're just things that I've had at home that I've tried to pull together into kits. Oh, this one's not necessarily a kit. This is something I picked up recently. Now, it does have that tray cloth in it, the stamped linen, but it also has a matching tablecloth in it. And it also has, oh, you can't see it because the bloody thing, I'll take it out. So it's old, it's a vintage, I'd say possibly from the 50s or earlier. So it's got the instructions there. There is the stamped supper cloth on linen, pure linen. It smells really nice. It smells a bit like sandalwood. So we've got the supper cloth, and there is also a matching tablecloth. It does have, that's how much embroidery has been done on the tablecloth. Again, it's all linen. It's still got the pure linen tag on it. Now this tag says it's 36 by 36 inches. So there's the whole tablecloth, there's the matching supper cloth. Now why there's a tablecloth and supper cloth, I don't know. And there's the original threads are with it as well, and the instruction sheet. So I've currently got that listed on my Destash page. If that doesn't go before the market, I'll take it to the market with me, I think. I'm struggling to know what to take because I'm not going as myself. I'm going with my mum, my aunt, two of my aunts and my cousin, and every one of us does different stuff. So we're having a combined shop because it's more affordable doing it that way, but we all do very different things. This is one that I listed recently, lovely tray cloth, beautiful linen, hand embroidered hibiscus with a pretty crocheted edge. That one's still sitting there. Again, if it doesn't sell, I'll just take it with me. This stunning, I love this, and I really want to hang on to it. This vintage half apron. I believe this is from the 50s. This cotton voile is beautiful. It's a minty green colour, and this pocket to me looks like an axe head. This sweet little, you can put your hand in it. If I show you the back of it, you can see my hand in the pocket. But the details are just beautiful. It's got this beautiful vintage braid on it, and this pretty little loop down here. And yeah, look, I wouldn't be unhappy if this doesn't sell because I love it. I absolutely love it. In fact, I want to unlist it, to be honest. I've got a collection of vintage aprons, so I want to add that to my collection. This is another piece I've got listed at the moment. Now there's this little, unfortunately I don't have the 3 pieces. I've only got, it's got strawberry flowers and a little toadstool. But the matching tray cloth, and again I want to keep this one. Isn't it gorgeous? I've actually got a stamped linen, and I think it's the same design from memory. I'll have to get that out and have a look. Okay, next I've got, this is the damask I've got listed at the moment. It's similar to my keeper piece, one of my keeper pieces. It's the hand painted. It's absolutely beautiful, this. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It smells good at the moment because I've recently washed it. So I've got this beautiful damask, and the only problem with this one, I've given it a light soak but not a full-on proper one. It does have a stain that as yet I have not been able to get out. Where is it? I can never find the stain when I'm It's not one you can miss. I can't find it again. There is a stain on this damask. There it is. It's around here. See that outline there? I haven't been able to shift that one as yet, but I currently have that piece listed. It's beautiful. Hand-painted damask with beautiful big roses all over it. And some trellis and some, what are they called? Ribbons? Ribbon swag. See the ribbons. Lovely piece, that one. Now, to the kits. Now, I showed these ones the other day. I've still got a couple sitting there. This is a vintage textile pack. There's a piece of wool in the back so you can make a bowl if you want. And it's hard to see what's in there. Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. I've put lavender essential oil in the starch when I starch them, but I use scent beads in the washing. After I soak them, I put them in the washing machine and add scent beads, and those scent beads fragrances stay for ages, but it gets quite expensive too. So yeah, I've still got this. There's all sorts of, you can't see how much is in there. There's vintage fabrics, there's vintage embroideries and laces and ribbons and all sorts. So I've still got some of these left. There's a pink one, there's a blue one. I think there's still two pink ones actually. There's a blue one remaining. I've got, I think both the purple ones are still there. They've all got the wool. And again, you can't see a lot, but there's quite a bit of vintage textiles in there. Most of them are from the 70s, 80s, 90s, these textiles. They're not overly aged. Beautiful piece of vintage gimp in there. Ribbons, laces, there's velvet ribbons, bits of embroidery, crochet, and yeah, there's more vintage embroideries behind that you can't see. I'm not going to keep pulling them out. I keep doing that and then I can't get them back in. Now, I don't know if I've actually listed these latest ones, but I've got another 4 vintage sheeting packs available. Oh, you can, Jude. PayPal, how can I do that for you? What's going to be the easiest way? Because I had to change my bloody birds now. Had to change the name of my PayPal account about 18 months ago, and I can't remember what it is. Maybe you can send me an email. It's Gladys and Maude @gmail.com. So GLADYS ANDMAUDE @gmail.com. So if you send me an email, we'll go from there. Between the grinding and the bashing and the frickin' cockatoos. What else? There's only a few things. These are new kits I put together the other day. Now these don't do it much for me because I don't like yellows. But these are needlebook kits. And the feature fabric in these kits is a piece of vintage Sanderson. That's it up there. Now, I've never seen this Sanderson before, but it's definitely Sanderson. There was a label on the back that I've actually covered with my Pellin. So it does say Sanderson. This is about how big the piece of fabric is. I've kept this piece to make one for myself because the reason I kept this is because there's a bit of a mark there. So I've kept this piece to use for myself. I'll make one. But I wanted to show you the size of the fabric for the needle book. And I've also, the pieces in the kits, there's 2 kits available. The pieces of Sanderson that I've put in those kits, I have already ironed on a piece of Pellin, iron-on Pellin. So you can jump into quilting it straight away, like stitching it, or just back it, whatever you want to do. So each piece has that Sanderson with the Pellin on it. There's some vintage damask. There's a bit of embroidery down here. There's a couple of yo-yos, a couple of hexagons. There's some vintage crochet pieces. There's a piece of lace in each one that you can use as your tie. They're both different. This one's got a embroidery glaze with the lace with the eyelets, so you can thread ribbon through if you want. This one's got a woven, like a torchon lace in it. There's a card of vintage cotton, crochet cotton, pearl cotton you can use if you want to do your cantha stitch on it. You might want to do yellow or a completely different colour. You might not want to do any at all, but I've put a bit in there. I've put a vintage stranded cotton in each of them. They're both different colours because I'm just using what I've got here. So I've tried to match them to the fabrics. They've both got a piece of vintage linen embroidery. They've both got a piece of vintage gingham. There's some vintage cottons in there. This one's got this piece of a vintage napkin. It's not the whole piece, that's all I had. It's a part of a piece, but it's hand crocheted. The other one's got a vintage napkin there. You can just see the edge of it. Fancy lace there. There's a piece of cotton from the 50s that I've added that matches well with it. They've both got one of these embroidered pieces in it. There is some wool felt in there. They've both got a piece of wool felt, different colours, but they still both match. And there's also a piece of doctor's flannel in there. Oh look, there's a linen napkin in there. There'd be another one in there as well. That one's going to have another one in there as well. So they're both very similar, but I've only got the 2. And again, as I said, the feature piece for the cover of your needle book is your vintage Sanderson. Okay, the next one I've got, this is another new kit I've made up. This is a piece of cotton 50s. This is reclaimed. So I've made up 2 kits. Again, I've got 2. There's this piece of reclaimed embroidered cotton in the back here you can use as a page in your needle book. There's a piece of printed cotton from the 50s in there. Vintage gingham, that's most likely from the 50s as well. Piece of doctor's flannel for your needle book page. That's your star piece. Now I've started one of these as well. This is our star piece of 50s cotton. Now these pieces I've cut a bit bigger, so if you want you can fold this piece in as a pocket if you wish, and then fold your front over. Now this piece, because it's reclaimed, someone started to make a dress, they didn't finish, so the fabric's never been worn, but they'd done this bias to finish the inside of the dress off, where they were going to do the buttons or the zipper or whatever. I've unpicked my piece and lifted it so I can put my lining in there, and then I'll stitch it back down, so that'll make a nice little neat tidy feature. Now for mine, I'm going to use that piece of gingham as my lining on the inside. So it also contains, there's this beautiful filet lace napkin. They've both got that. They've both got a vintage turquoise or aqua handkerchief. And they've both got this beautiful, they're both different, but I haven't got, yes I have, a tray cloth, hand embroidered, beautiful linen, immaculate condition with a crocheted edge. They've both got one. That's the one in the other pack. Absolutely gorgeous. They've also got, there's that, you can sort of see that 50s print in there. Those bloody birds. I've hand dyed a piece of wool blanketing to match in with it. They've both got a piece of vintage lace that you can wrap around it. They're both different. So that's a cotton woven, or that's a cotton as well. It's finer. I've included a dolly peg with some pearl cotton if you want to use it, and I only had one ball, so I've split it on 2 pegs that you can use to do your canter stitch if you wish. What else is in there? There's another piece of cotton in here. There's some velvet ribbon. You've got your doctor's flannel. There's a doily in there, linen and crochet doily. Oh, I've got a cramp again. And these are just little cards I made. I've hand painted them, and they've got a bit of vintage textile on them. So I've just put those in there as well as a nice little touch. So they're new ones that I've just listed yesterday, I think. I've got one, these were popular. This is my last needlebook kit. They're the other neighbours now with the frickin' music. That's the car. See if we can finish, shall we? This is another needlebook kit. This is a larger one, as you can see. This is the last at the moment of, this is a vintage Sanderson. That's a linen, that one. Now these ones went quite quickly, and this is the last of them. And there's a bit of vintage wool blanket in it. There's a piece of, that's not doctor's flannel, it's another piece of vintage blanketing, but I've tried to get it all to match in with the linen. I've put they're vintage DMC cottons, vintage laces, vintage medallions, vintage linen, doilies, napkins, little cross-stitch ones, Suffolk puffs, they're vintage ones. So yeah, that's the last of the Sanderson, the linen, Sanderson linen. This is the last, cherry themed needlebook. Now this one, we've got the cover fabric. This is reversed to what I've made. I gave 2 options for this, and this is the last one. There's another bit of vintage cherry there. That's the one I've covered mine in, and the other pack with the cover in that print's gone. We've got some vintage wool blanketing for your pages. There's some vintage embroidery bits, laces. You can use that one for your wrap. There's a bit of vintage cotton. These are just bits you can use to decorate it with. There's a bit of vintage bias tape there because I've put bias around that one I'm making. Crochet medallions. I've cut out some circles that you can make puffs with, and I've also given you this fabric down here, this bluey green, and I've cut out a template to make leaves. There's a bit of thread there to do a stem. There's some embroideries and laces you can use. Now I'll show you what I mean. So that kit is to make something like this, little needle book. And I've cut fabrics out so you can make your own puffs. I didn't make them for you because I'm very time poor at the moment. So I've cut them out. You can make your own puffs to do your cherries, the threads to do your stem. I've included a bit of that fabric and a template to do the leaves. Now, as I said, I've sold out of that print, but I have got, the one that remains has got that print for the cover. It's got strawberries and cherries. It also includes, I'm still working on this one. So I've run out of this bias binding, but that one has a piece of vintage red bias in it. I've included a piece of this reclaimed tablecloth in it, so you can make the same pocket if you wish. That goes through to the back there. There is a piece of, I'm pretty sure there's a piece of wool felt, so you can do a page. This isn't a double page, it's just a single page. I haven't included that, I've made that. I haven't included those puffs because I've run out of vintage puffs, but I've included enough fabric so you can make 3 red ones if you want. That's not included, that's a piece I pulled out of my stash. So have I put a bit of that in there? I don't think I have. That piece of fabric's not included. That's a little sandwich tray cloth. That's not included because I didn't have enough, but if you've got some, you've got one, you can put your own in. And I've backed it with a piece of that fabric that I'm having as the cover. That's the piece of the blanketing that I've included. So I think there's enough blanketing in there to do two or 3 pages. That's not included, that's just a piece I pulled. Now I have included a piece of lace if you want to do a little skirt like this in the center. I have included one of these embroideries if you want to stitch that in. I haven't stitched that in yet. So when I stitch that in, I'll trim closer. That biro will go. That's a friction marker. So that will go when I iron it. I've just put a little tab there out of that fabric again. Let's drop this skirt down. Little lace medallion there. There is a lace medallion in there. It's not exactly the same, but there's one in there you can stitch in yours. And the lace in that kit isn't the same as that. I tried to do differences to make them different. So the lace was in the other one. That's the other side of that sandwich cloth, and that's it. So this is the lace I've used to wrap around this one. And the lace in this kit's a bit different. But that's the wraparound lace in that one. So that's the last kit for the cherry needle book. And these are the last kits I've got. These are just vintage textile kits. This one has a huckabuck embroidered fingertip towel, vintage one. It's got pretty little bows on the sides and these wreaths in the center. It also has some vintage gingham. So there's a blue and there's an orange. There's some very, very, very vintage fabric pieces in here that I bought from Beck that I didn't want to move on. I want to keep them, but I needed something to fill in this kit a bit more. So I've put a little bit of that. They're only small bits because I only got tiny bits to start with. I've put a vintage handkerchief, embroidered handkerchief in there. Of course, little vintage stranded threads. This is a piece of embroidered reclaimed tablecloth. There's a beautiful vintage sandwich tray cloth and two of my very precious coveted feed sack Suffolk puffs. So little textile packs, that's one that's left. This is another one that's still left. Again, this is an applique fingertip towel. Again, we've got the little bit of vintage ginghams, 1920s feed sack fabric. That again, they're only little bits. Feed sacks, puffs, some vintage stranded cotton. This one I didn't have a tray cloth, so I've added this beautiful vintage doily, linen doily. And there's some reclaimed embroidered tablecloth in the back of that one as well. This one is sold. This one's gone. Someone's already claimed her. Very pretty. Same thing, huckabuck, fingertip towel, bit of reclaimed tablecloth, a little doily. This one looks like it's only got one. Oh no, there's two feed sack puffs in there, the stranded threads, and the little vintage fabrics. Again, that one is sold. It's already gone. And then the very last one, another vintage textile pack. Beautiful. This is a linen fingertip towel, this one. Embroidered. It's got a lovely crocheted edge on it. We've got some coordinating vintage stranded cottons. There's a piece of vintage 50s cotton fabric. A bit of gingham. There's a couple more vintage cottons up here. These are all, yeah, they're all from the 50s. Again, they're only small pieces. Vintage embroidered doily. And then we've got these two are feed sack. This is one I made from a 1950s fabric. So that's that. That's, oh, one last kit. This is one I've finished putting together today. Now I started making, I'll show you this first. Now this is my Fleur Woods inspired. This is going to be a handbag. And the reason I started this is because I've got, oh that freaking noise. I've got a couple of vintage bamboo bag handles. So I've started making one out of this reclaimed vintage wool blanketing, and I've basted on these flowers that I'm going to thread paint. That one's cross stitched, so I'm not going to paint that one. And that's a bit of reclaimed from a doily, a tray cloth. But the rest of these I've started to tack down. I'm going to thread paint them, and then I'm going to do embroidery and weave stitch in between them like Fleur does. And then I'm going to line that with a piece of vintage fabric. I don't know what I'm going to use. I don't know if I've got enough of the gingham. I don't think I do. I do have a bit more of this. I'm thinking I might use this vintage seersucker for the lining, possibly. And you know, so that's going to be a bag, okay? Because I've got a little bit more, I've put together a kit. It's got the vintage wool blanketing in it, blue. It's got a pair of vintage handles, bamboo handles. I've put a piece of that seersucker in it that you can line it with. There's a cross stitch here you can cut out and apply to it. And there's pieces of floral fabrics. These two are Sanderson. I've just cut out, I've left quite a bit of allowance that you can trim them how you want or border them however you want. There's another, this is a more modern piece of fabric in the back here. It's a large piece, but it includes these ones here, these beautiful flowers here, and this one up here. So I've included those because the vintage fabrics I have don't extend as far, if that makes sense. Now this poor kit has come unstuck. This is double bagged, this one, to try and hold it all in. And I've also included, now these, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've hand painted these, they're pure wool. They're an 8-ply. So I've included those to use for your weave stitch. There is a vintage anchor tapestry wool. There is a vintage, where's it gone? A vintage pearl thread here, an anchor, DMC. I've also included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vintage DMC soft cottons. They're no longer available. They're beautiful threads. And again, I don't want to get rid of all these, but I can't take them all with me. And I've also included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vintage DMC 2-ply crewel wools, and these are no longer available either. So it's quite a big pack there. There's a lot in it. I've listed that if anyone wants it. If it doesn't sell in the next few days, it will be coming up to the market with me. Now I've got stuff spread from one end of the place to the other. I think that's all I had to show you. That was a very long-winded video again, wasn't it? Every time I think it's not going to be as long this time. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. No, I think that's it. So that's about it, guys. Thank you for joining me again. Don't know what's going on over there. My hair's all coming out. I plait it down my left-hand side because when I go out and I take Willow with me, I've got a belt on that I clip her onto, and I usually lift that up, put my handbag over that shoulder, or actually lately I've been using a satchel, like a crossbody. So I put it over there. That's why I wanted, that's supposed to have no hair, because I can just flick it over there. And then when I put my seatbelt on to drive, my hair's not going to get tangled. So I plait it down my left side, which in theory keeps it from getting caught in the seatbelt and keeps it from getting tangled in my crossbody bag when I put that on. So I have a wonky hairdo, but I only did it this morning and it's all coming out already. But yeah, I think that's about it for today. My lips are ridiculously dry. I did 2 of these little mini skeins. There's some of my hand dyes in there, but they've both sold. I don't know if I've got enough to do any more. If I have, I'll put together some more because they seem to be quite popular. I don't think you guys realise how helpful this is to me, not only destashing, but helping pay, especially pay Willow's vet bills at the moment. So I'm incredibly grateful. I'm just trying to put all these kits in a basket so I know where they are and they all stay nice and neat. basket's not quite big enough. Those ones can go in there. Linen. I'll put the linen in there, the tablecloth, the stamped one, and then I'll go looking for it because there's no other linen in there and I won't be able to find it. I'm good at doing things like that. I try to keep things organised. So all the kits are usually in one crate. All the stuff that's been listed that has to be packaged to be sent off to their new homes is all in another crate, or several crates at the moment. But all the stuff that I keep moving around looking for is spread over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, over 20 crates. And that's not all of it, that's just, and this is why it takes me so long. I've got them piled on top of each other. And they're labelled, so I've got an idea of what's in each one. And you know, all the laces are in, well, was one crate, I've got 3 now. All the threads are in one, all the wools are in one, all the napkins are in one, so I've got an idea of where things are, but because I've got so many and they're all stacked on top of each other, and then I've got smaller ones in shelving units stacked on my dining table, but then because I've got so much of that again, and I've got vintage tins with stuff in it, every day when I'm either photographing or packaging, or I've just got to move things. I think I spend more time moving crates and containers than I do anything else. Crazy. I got this is something else I was going to show you. I was watching, I think it was Rachel, the Roxy sisters recently, one of their, I've been slowly working through the volume 8 of their journal stitchery, the collected things one with the fabrics that they're attaching things to. I'm going to make a bedspread, I think. I haven't started yet. I think I'll do that after I move. So I've been watching that, and they were talking about this Vintage Home magazine. They actually mentioned a book too that I got as well, but I didn't bring that out. I don't know where I've put it. It's a beautiful book. I don't know why I ordered this magazine, because it's English, it's not Australian. I don't know what was going through my head when I decided to buy it. It cost me so much more than I realised. Put it this way, I ended up paying $50 for a magazine. And if I walked into a shop and saw a magazine for $20, it would stay there. So why the heck I thought this was a good idea, I don't know. It is beautiful. And I'm thinking I might cover it with clear contact to try and preserve it for a bit longer, because it was so expensive. It's a beautiful magazine, but all the flea markets and brocantes and auctions and decorating credits and fairs and shops and everything's in the UK. It has some beautiful images in it. But I still don't know what the heck was going through my mind when I decided that I was going to buy it. It's not within my budget. So I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I haven't even shown you the prettiest pages yet. I don't think I bought myself earlier this year as a gift to myself. I bought Fleur's book. Now, by the time I paid for postage for Fleur's book, I don't think I even paid that much for it. And it's a book. This is just a magazine. I don't know what was going through my head, honestly. I don't know. And yes, it is beautiful. And yes, if it was $15, I probably wouldn't hesitate to buy it. And to be honest, I don't really treat myself anymore. I don't allow the budget to. I used to get magazines regularly, but I haven't bought a magazine for years because they're so expensive now. I nearly had a heart attack a few weeks ago when I walked into the supermarket and thought, I might buy that magazine I haven't bought for years. And it was about $24. Oh, bloody hell. I'm not buying a magazine. So yeah, I try to justify it by telling myself that I haven't bought myself anything. Well, I rarely buy myself things these days. But if I stop and think about it, I bought a couple of kits from Beck recently, and I bought some fabric from Nairi recently, a while ago. So it's not like I go without. It's not like I deprive myself of anything. I haven't been buying anything I haven't bought anything for my garden this season, so I normally spend a lot of money on gardening. I haven't this season because I haven't been able to get out there. I don't go out anymore. I don't go to cafes or for dinner or anything anymore. I used to holiday. I used to go away for weekends, and you know, the last 18 months, 2 years, I haven't done any of that. I don't even own a TV anymore. That's from my choice. I don't like watching TV anymore. I've got, my kids pay for things like, I've got Disney. I don't have Netflix anymore. I've got Disney and Prime, and so, but I don't pay for those, so I sort of try and justify I can buy myself a magazine or a book every now and then because I don't really do anything else. But that's just me convincing myself that it's all right that I've spent a stupid amount of money on a magazine that I couldn't afford. To be honest, most of my money goes on Willow these days. But I make most of her food. Still paying off vet bills. She needs to go back to the vet. She gets fancy. I do, thank you, Jude. And you know what, the thing is, since COVID, my face-to-face friends, as hard as I've tried to meet up, we used to meet up regularly, like fortnightly and weekly for lunch and coffee and whatnot. We'd do art classes together, we'd do all sorts of things. Since COVID, I haven't been able to catch up with any of them. So I found that hard for a while. But now, like you've said, Jude, I tend to connect more with people online, which is a bit foreign because it's not really that face-to-face relationship, is it? But it is something. It's better than nothing. Not undervaluing you guys at all. That's not what I mean at all. I think I'm just saying having some kind of friendship with people online is better than just becoming a recluse and not having any relationship at all. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But I think I'm going to have to go. I'm ridiculously tired. Willow and I had a huge day yesterday. We left at 8 o'clock in the morning, didn't get home until was after 7 last night. Yeah, that's true. I think you're right. And then today, between my meetings take a lot of energy out of me these days, and walking and carrying the groceries and then dragging all this stuff out the front, and trying to not lose it with all the noise that was happening earlier. I'm exhausted. I've still got to go in and cook mine and Willow's dinner. I've got to clean up all this. It's getting late. It's 5 p.m. And I've actually got this dental work I mentioned earlier that's been ongoing. The day before, I had an appointment booked for last Wednesday, and they can't, not Wednesday just gone, the one before. And they rang me. I was just walking out the door to go to the appointment, and they rang me to say that they were cancelling it. The day before, on the Tuesday, I'd bitten into a walnut. I put walnuts on my oats of a morning for breakfast. And I'd bitten into a walnut and cracked something in one of these teeth. And it was one that he'd filled only last month. And then after that, it was cutting the inside of my gum and my cheek. And I said to them on the phone, you know, I'm in pain, it's cutting, it's not nice. Well, that was okay. That sort of eased off after a couple of days. But today, it feels like I've got an infection in there. So that's getting really sore. It feels like it's starting to swell up as I'm going on through the day today. And it's actually getting a sore in here as well. So I'm just feeling a little bit yuck this afternoon. I've actually got, that's just reminded me, I've got another infection that I've been trying to get on top of, and I saw my doctor again yesterday, and he's given me more antibiotics that I need to start. I'll start them tonight. I forgot about that. And I'm not one that happily takes antibiotics. I try to avoid them, but I didn't have much choice this time with this infection I've got. I've tried everything else. But what do you do? Anyway, I'm gonna go and pack up, get some dinner on. I think I'm just gonna have, don't have much here because I haven't actually done the grocery shopping. I just grabbed a few things. I've got couscous I picked up today. I don't have any veggies left though. I've got watermelon. Watermelon couscous? That sounds bloody, oh no, I don't have any feta. Could do a watermelon and feta with mint leaves. I don't have any mint either. What else can I do? I've got rice, I've got pasta. I might just have an easy pasta with cheese or something, I think. I'm too tired now. Anyway, I'll get going instead of just talking. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Oh, my face is getting quite sore actually. Thank you again for joining me. Jude, don't forget to send me an email because I don't think I've got any other way that I can contact you at the moment. So, like I said, if you go to my YouTube profile, my homepage, there is a link to my Instagram, to my Destash page. I'm pretty sure there's a link to my email. There's definitely one to my Instagram. So if worst comes to worst, you can contact me through there. I should have looked before I started the video. There are a few links there. I can't remember what they all are. But you should be able to get me somehow. I don't even know if you can private message me through YouTube. I forgot to look into that. But yeah, try Instagram, try at the very least email. It's gladysandmaude@gmail.com. But there should be a link in my profile anyway. I mean, you can always, after we've got out of here, because if you do it beforehand, it disappears. After the live's finished and the video's been uploaded, you can comment in the comment section. But if you comment now before it's uploaded, they disappear. I can't retrieve them. So you can always comment somewhere on YouTube on one of my videos and I will get it, but the problem with that, if you put your email address there, everyone else can see it. So that's why I haven't asked you to do it that way. But even if you make a comment, let me know it's you. Don't put your email. I still might be able to track you down through your comment if you can't get me otherwise, if that helps. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. I've got to go and finish doing stuff. Got to hang some washing out yet. So thank you again so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this little wander through my linens and my other bits and pieces. And yeah, thanks again. And you take care too, Jude, and everyone else take care too. Be kind and stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.